Hi, could you see me? Can you hear me? Am I here?
We can see you. Very funny. Rick, I leave the floor to you now. Well, we need to learn about this fake background. It's not so working.
It's a pleasure to be here yet again on a borrowed
Thank
computer
you.
with borrowed earphones, borrowed virtual background. Part of the reason that it's such a pleasure is because of our next speaker. It's my honor and my privilege to introduce Giancarlo Mazzanti. As I think many of you know, Giancarlo was born in Barranquilla, Colombia, back in 1963. He graduated with a bachelor's degree in architecture from I guess it would be PUJ, the Pontifical Javeriana University in Bogota, in 1987, and received a graduate degree in history and theory of architecture, as well as industrial design from the University of Florence in Italy in 1991. Among his most notable projects are the library in Parque España, the León de Grif Public Library, which is also called the Biblioteca La Fidera, much publicized in Medellin, the Gerardo Molina Public School, the Nazca Restaurant, Habitat 72, Habitat 74, the Medellin Coliseum. I'm getting a message from JJ that the screen is very abstract. I'm not sure why. Giancarlo won several awards, among them the Global Award for Sustainable Architecture from the French Institute of Architects. That's saying the Cité de l'Architecture de Patrimoine, strictly speaking, not the French Institute of Architecture, but much better. He also designed the El Porvenir Social Kindergarten in Boza, the Gerardo Molina Public School in Suba, Museo del Caribe in Barranquilla. The list goes on and on. The Third Millennium Park in San Victorino in Bogota, and also various other arenas and coliseums. It's a very, very long biography. I'm going to shorten it a little bit because I think we all want to get to hear his projects. But I would just say that he searches for projects that empower transformation and build communities. He's committed to, in his professional life, to the improvement of the quality of design of the built environment and the concept of social equality. His works reflect significant social shifts happening throughout Latin America today, and his work has helped show that good design can lead to new identities for cities and their inhabitants, crossing over lines of social class, of poverty, of economic issues, to create spaces that work and bring benefit to all. So without further ado, it's my great pleasure to introduce you, Giancarlo, and I wish we were in the same room to do this in person. Take it away.
Hello, thank you. I have a problem with the camera. It told me that it's impossible to connect with my camera because the principal is disconnected. Yeah, right. Now it is perfect. Thank you. Are you looking at me and are you listening to me?
Yes, we can see you, but the background is not working well for you. So I would recommend to take it out. You have to go to the video and then choose, you know, in your case, go, I don't know if it's in English or in Spanish, choose a virtual background. And after that, place in backgrounds none. So you know, you can turn off that fake background. Same thing for you, Rick, while you're listening to us, if you can do the same thing and remove the background that is not working.
Hello, could you see me? Okay, we can start with the lecture if you want. We can start with my slides, and then I would like to go to explain my lecture today, right?
Thank you. Yes.
Okay, right. I would like to speak today about for what reason are we designing in the era of the Anthropocene now? Why is the real? Why we are designing now? What is the real target of what we are doing now? And I think that the beyond of the human architecture must explore practice that replace Man as the only existing factor to define it, favoring the appearance of the agreements between human and non-human actors, allows the construction of inclusive and diversity post-human architecture within a global system made up of the organic, inorganic, political, social, environmental entities. Today I'm going to speak about the sixth strategy for participatory architecture. The first topic that I'm going to show is the idea of the co-creation and inclusion of different human and non-human actors. In this case, I'm going to show of the project of Marinilla. After that, I'm going to speak about the performativity and the architecture that needs the existence of the user as creator. Game, logic, and anomaly is another topic where we are researching in the last year. And open and systematic architecture is an important topic about the idea of the models and the piece, the possibility to grow, or the idea of the architecture with the adaptability. Anomaly is another topic, and I finish with the idea of the participation is as an appropriation mechanism of the community in general. In this case, I start with the idea of the co-creation and inclusion of different human and non-human actors, and I speak and I'm going to show the Marinilla educational park near to Medellin. Understand the imbalance of the difference between the way projects are designed, the wishes of citizens and the diversity of a human condition. Through design strategy that derive from the understanding of different human and non-human actors, and using actor map and participation strategy between different actors to create balance and sustainable built environments. When we go to design in general the project, the developers or the architects are thinking maybe very different of thinking the community. How we can connect the community with the real condition that is waiting in the community in general of in the project. I think the very important tool is the idea of the co-creation, and we work in three different topics in the idea of the co-creation, the idea of the participatory laboratory, actoral maps. In this case, we are mapping what is the real actors after of the project, after of the real user, in this case, human and non-human conditions, and living laboratory. We invited the community to work in this case. Participatory laboratories we make it a workshop with participatory, or we invited the community to remake, to think. There's a workshop around this in this case. I'm going to show this project. The first topic what we want to develop in this project is the idea of a social landscape, and we invited the community to do a builds. Is a play of rules. We have a lot of interest about how to work with the idea of the toys and the playgrounds. In this case, we invited the community to make a build of the city of Marinilla. Marinilla is a city near to Medellin. Is a very traditional community, and they have a very important connection. We invited the community because when you are going to see the builds, inside of the builds you can understand what is the real condition of your country, of your city, of your town, depending what you want. We offered the opportunity to the community to design the ticket to builds to submarine the history and what the culture of Marinilla represents. We understand two very important conditions of this community. The first is the value of a nature is a condition of identity. They exchange orchideas and plants and different conditions in this case of the project. The other is the important role of the domesticity. The domesticity in the city, they put it chairs, table outside in the space, and it's a link for make community in this case. The conclusion of this project of the co-creation is the landscape and domesticity is a mechanism to build communities and relation amount of the multipliers of the after in this case. It is a school, but we want to put it and multiply another user in this case. This video can show you what is the idea, what we want to let me see. It is the video, and I don't know what happened with the video. All right.
Something I like to do in my house. Being in contact with nature from a familiar place, close and domestic. The first thing you have to do is choose a plant pot. Then you have to prepare the soil. It must be fertile and have the nutrients that the plant needs. Now you can put the plant carefully into the soil. You must water it constantly. When I'm not home, I ask my family and my friends for help. We all take care of it. The plant must be in an illuminated place to grow its strength. My favorite part is to place it next to the rest of the plants. I planted some of them myself. Others have been gifts from my neighbors. My garden has a little piece of everyone in the community. These plants make me feel at home.
Okay, this project, the project we wanted to multiply the user of the project. It's not only a school; it's a place to disseminate plants, to exchange plants, to go with the hamaca, and do another behavior not usual inside of the school. The second topic what we want to develop in this project is the idea of the social landscape, the natural landscape. This is an important condition in America, the relation between of the nature, temperature, in this condition. In general, in the project we did, we are very interested to understand the idea of the system, the idea of the models. In this case, we have working with the idea of the growing system, the possibility to grow the project. How we can propose project that is not unfinished. The project can grow in the next year with the societies make around of the instability. In this project, we want to work with the idea of the finishes connectivity and networks. We finishes configuration based on the station of range that can grow through new amps according to the specific change in this case. We work with the idea of the toy, of the playground, and we think when we are working with this idea, we can understand the product ensemble and disassemble project. And this project have this condition to grow in the different moment on the different condition. And this project can change in the next year. It is a model of the project is a very similar the model of the final project. We proposed the project with the idea of the net in aluminum, and this net is the background of the plants where what the community have to go to disseminate in this project. It is the image of the project. It is the net, and the idea is the community and the students go to this place and disseminate plants in the border of the project, and the plants can grow in these walls of the net. In this case, you can see here the scale. You can go inside of this project. This project is open every time for the students and for the community, and you can walk to connect to different parts. The park is a exchange of instrument. The park is an exchange instrument in this case. We want to multiply the role of the school after to the user for learn, and we want to use this school for the exchange plan to make the embrace of the community in this case. The project is a tool that defines the relationship between nature and culture through agreement between technical and cultural needs in this case. This implies the negotiation between the multipliers of the human and not human, a world linked to the totality of things, organic, mechanical, and inorganic in this condition. It is an image. in this case of the project, when the student is going with the plans to exchange and disseminate these plans to waiting to grow in this condition. The picture that you are close is the first moment we open the school. Okay, the second topic what we're going to speak is about is the idea of the performativity, an architecture that meets the existence of user and creator. We want to say that the architecture is the real world. Okay. Architecture is an action. For us, the value of architecture is not based on itself alone, but also what it is capable of producing. It is a perfect. Sorry. Our architecture is defined by what it generates in this case. An architecture capable of promoting behaviors and relationships to encourage people to think and behave in a way of a previously believed impossible before. This is a good example that I want to show in this case. This is a work of an artist from Mexico. The name is Pedro Reyes. He's an amazing architect, amazing artist, and he proposing this idea of the sombrero, the big hat, and they put it different sombreros in this case and connected the sombreros in one. When you put one sombrero, you protect the sun, but when you put it many sombreros together, you need to speak to the other people to move. This is a tool to promote the communication, and we want to understand and we want to know that architecture will have this power to trigger different conditions of the behavior. I'm going to show a project with the idea of this idea that this project needs the user to exist. It is a canopy, and Barranca Bermeja is a city in the middle of Colombia. In general, the mayor of the city invited to do this canopy. This canopy only have, this is a many, it's expensive, but don't have a very important role. It's only the role for the make a shadow. It is not more. The community go there to play sport, but maybe it's not the most important. The context of this project is a neighborhood in Barranca Bermeja. It's a poor neighborhood, but it's middle classes, but they live in a very small house. The neighborhoods are small in general. They don't have space to make the big parties, the married, the community parties in general. And we want to produce this idea of the canopy. We want to trigger another form to user of this idea of the canopy. It is the idea of the canopy. We propose it similar of the last project. This is an unfinished project, making for these rumbles or I don't know very well the name in English, but we propose this idea to the possibility to grow the project depends what happened in the next years.
I grew up in Barranca. Each moment of my childhood, I lived it here. My friends and I always played in the neighborhood street. I remember my cousin's birthdays. All the family gathered. The parties were really great. My sister's 15th birthday was an unforgettable night. I remember these moments fondly, but it was hard to find a place where we could organize them. We could never have ideal conditions. Now, I can change all of this from my own cell phone. Play the music I want, change the temperature to gather in a cool place, watch videos with my friends, change the lights, and have a great party. It seems that there are no limits here. The structure grows and adapts to our desires. I can create different atmospheres together with my neighbors. It's a space that is constantly transforming. It's a space for everybody.
Okay, we propose it in this project. The user with the model can connect with the app, and app you can reservation the space for your parties, for what you want in this case. You can reserve of community, many families or many people of the community for different behavior or conditions, what you want, or for the private parties, not private, but the 50 years is very important too in South America, the married, what you want. We're proposing these tools inside of the project: fans, live TV, screen and music, oscillation, and difference in this. You can connect with your mobile, and you can propose the temperature of the space back in the back of the canopy. You can propose the light, the music. You can organize it of your mobile, and you connect with this canopy, and you propose what is the ambient, the atmosphere that you want to make for your different conditions. It is the project. It's not unfinished project, and I forget this one is important. And this project is not made for the idea of the composition. For me, it's the same. If we have this void here or this void is not here. The problem here is the idea of the disposition of this system made for peace and models, and how you dispose this piece in the site. It's not a problem of the beautiful draw of the architect. It's more near to this idea of the operation of the form. The idea of the form having intelligence and can have the power of the adaptability of the place. But this for me, the most important in this project is the idea of the disposition versus the idea of the composition. It is the image of the project. It is the idea of the finished project in the border of the project, the connection with the trees is coming inside of the project, and it is a project what we want to propose and show in this case about how the user he can propose the condition of the weather and temperature inside of this project. The topic number 3 that I want to propose in this lecture is the idea of the play, the playfulness. Anomaly is a criticism of the idea of the function based on fitness and maximum productivity. The history where we wanted in the last year, we were proposing buildings very efficient. Why we cannot propose another form to use the building? The Homo faber, the factory, is a model of the in the last century of architecture. Maximum fitness and utility is a idea of the functionalism that we are working. How we want to see another forms to understand the plan or the form are you moving inside of the space. The industrial age established a new architectural language represented by the factory. This was designed based on the specific production model in order to control habits and dynamics. The factory. In this society, the productive apparatus tends to become totalitarian to extend that it determines not only social necessary occupation, aptitudes, but also individual needs and aspiration. The house is a machine for living, so Le Corbusier. I think it is not the house is not a machine for living. It's a space to dream. It's a space to living in other forms what you want to live. It's not efficient space. And we want to break this idea of the only form to approach of the architecture is about the efficient. The homoludens is another approach. When I speak about big one, I am not so that you cannot make a efficient project. How we can put another condition of this efficient project in this game. The idea of the game is a tool for individuals to use space in another way. The game is a detonating instrument for attitudes and situations, anomalies, new, unexpected in this game. In this project, we are working with this idea for the play, and probably this in the end a tool is a tool or a toy for trigger this behavior. Is either Biennial in Milano, I don't know, 6 years before, and they managed to do a wall in the middle of the exhibition. And the topic of the exhibition is the architecture is art. For us, the architecture is not art, then the user use the building and change the building in this case. We proposed this wall, and the wall created to interchangeable and use it to draw a strong division, cannot and no transform itself and become part of a common place to the experiment activated and transformed according to everyone's desire. We propose this wall, but this wall is a flexible wall. When you come inside of this wall, you can touch the wall and you can deform the wall, and in this moment you can be the artist. You make a shadow, forms, lights, and it's a tool for play. And when you play, you make a different condition. The user is the one who transform the wall into an object of art to the extent that the form become the artistic work. It is the model, or we make it in the first condition. It is the idea to when you go inside to wall and you can change. The mission of this game is not give participants the opportunity to transform a rigid element into a flexible one through their mind. The visitor crossing the wall becomes an artist with one who flexible material acts and imprints this work for the moment of the malleable surface. You are the artist when you are walking and you touch the wall and you deform the idea of the wall. We put a different words in the exhibition to trigger, to touch, to play, to different conditions. This is the image of the installation in this case, and you can play in this moment. And when you play, you make a forms, light, shadows. You can kiss the wall. You can do what you want with this wall. But we wanted this condition to connect the families. And when you deform the border, the wall, you are making a picture. In this moment, you can be artist in this case. It is a video in Spanish, but you can understand perfectly what you want, what we wanted to propose in this project. Okay, I'm going to speak. Okay, I'm going to speak about the part of the topic number 4, an open and systematic architecture. The adaptability to change, based on the repetition, is using on the last project we have worked in many projects about this idea of the peace model, of the idea of the felt condition in the end, or the idea of the how the project can say it can be adaptable in the next year, and with the idea of this condition. These are different diagrams. We want to speak about the operative diagram of the different projects that we showed it 3, 4 project about this one, but for us this idea to work of the adaptive model and system is a very important topic inside of the world. More than finishes and closed architecture, we propose the development of open and adaptive system made up of the models and association patterns capable of adapting to the most diverse situation, be they topographic, urban, or programmatic. This strategy generates more than buildings material strategy ready to grow, change and adapt according to particular and temporary circumstances. It is an idea of how we can think project similar when you think the biology or the plants, and they have intelligence to grow, intelligence to adaptability, and the project can be this condition to adaptability, the idea of the growth, the idea of these possibilities. I'm going to learn very fast. Different characteristics of the system. They are in finished structure. They have the ability to grow and adapt, are based of their arrangement like toys, and this idea of the toys ensemble and ensemble toys. They have no place over scale when you are thinking before, and when you go to the place, they have the power to adapt of this condition of the place. They contradicts the idea of the composition of our of configuration. I have spoken about in the project of Barranca Bermeja. The problem have the ability to be interchangeable, the condition of the relation of the type or the topological condition, are based on rules and protocols, have a form of adaptive intelligence living system, similar to the biology in this case, and criticizes the idea of the object and value, the idea of the field model, background and figuring in this case. We are thinking that the project can be the approach to design the project is near when you propose to make a toys or in this condition. I'm going to show a project for the sport venues for South American Games in 10 years before, and we're proposing this idea to the piece, but the piece in this case is not kinetic. It's a models, but the models is working in 2 senses only. With models can have the power to adapt, adaptability, and can possibility to grow. In this case, we are working with the bands. The bands are abstractive systems that allow us to develop and complete and determinate organizational strategy, which allow us to apply special qualities and conditions with flexibility in one of 2 senses in this case. It is the project is in Medellin, in the middle of the valley, and they propose it this is competition, and they're proposing to make 4 different coliseums for the 4 different competition. And we're proposing more than 1 project. We're proposing that system with this idea, the possibility to grow and trigger another fund. It is the first sketch when we working in this case with this idea of the bands, and the band is going up or going down, depends of the efficient in this case. We are proposing we working in this case with 7 different models, and the models we can put it in position A or position B, depends what we need in this case. It is the first models of the competition. We made this project with Felipe Mesa. It is the first render of the city, have a connection with the idea of the topography. They have connected with the idea of the weather of the city too, the idea of the open and space between in this case. It is an image of this project. You can see here the bands, and the band is going up, down, going up, down of different conditions. This inside of the project. We open it for the light, and we have this another wonderful condition in South America, the idea of the tropical condition, the idea of the condition of you can open the space and you can have interchangeable inside of the side of the planet. It is an image of journal of the project. We proposed 4 different coliseums in this game, but we given the protocols and the instruction to the city, and they make it this little Coliseum number 5 in this condition. You can see how this idea of the system can grow, but don't need the architect for grow. Is an open system for everybody, for the cities, for different conditions. I spoke about this one before, that for me is not important if this span going more here or more there. In the back, depends what happened in this place, you stop the bands, but it's not the problem. It's not the idea of the composition. It's we talk about that. This one is the idea of the disposition, the piece in this place. We are interested in this case to make a public space, and we connect the inside of the outside of the project. And we want to this condition. It is a public space and public building. In general, the public buildings in the sport facilities is closed for everybody. In this case, we proposed this little boy with huecos. You can see what happened inside. It is the video and show this idea of the upside, inside, and the space between of this condition. I'm going to speak about the anomaly. I'm going to speak very fast. We will have a lot time for finish. And this idea of the anomaly, how we can multiply, use it and build diversity space inside of the project. How we can put another forms to user the space, not only based on the efficient and the idea of the very functionality. We're interested in introducing anomalous activities that allow us to open new possibilities for use. What if there was a dance floor of playground in the middle of the hospital? Anomalies are a space for resistance and for the society passing of efficient economic advantage. The third topic is space. It is in the end when we want to speak in this condition. They oppose another space and other space. They are absolutely different places that oppose common place and are intended to cancel, compensate, neutralize, and purify the condition of daily life. Prison, bar, museum, and library is a good example. I got to show this project. It's a Santa Fe Foundation, is a hospital in Bogota. We want to work with these actors in this condition. Who are the most world hospital designed in the world? Very efficient space, connected, very fast. And maybe this is the first topic that we want to when you go to do a hospital. But what happens with the people that are inside of this hospital? What is the real feel? What you need to hear? What you want to trigger of the people that are inside? Doctors, nurseries, families. How we can trigger this condition? And we're proposing in this hospital 3 different anomalies in the end. How to dance and think in hospital when you are waiting for 7 days or 10 days in the hospital. You need to relax the family. How you can go to do exercise, dance, how you can to relax in this. This is the first anomaly. The second anomaly is we want to put it inside the children of an animal. When you are sick and you are inside of a hospital, you cannot have the contact of the outside of the city. You feel that you are very bad. No, you can see what happened in the city. We want to open the hospital in this condition to connect with this. We put it the idea of the leader part of neighborhood inside of the hospital with the condition for acoustic condition for the have a problem. And then anomaly number 3, what we put it is plants and butterflies in the garden in the 94 in the hospital in this case. The space for us is it's a healing mechanism. And we proposed this idea to put this Aladdin and butterfly space in the middle of Bogota. It is the new hospital. It's connected with the old hospital. It's making brick, and we want to work with this idea for brick. When you see this concavity is when we put it, the anomalies in this condition. It is pictures of this idea of the garden for the butterflies, and we proposed this idea of similar to the textile. The concavity is open in this field condition.
I was born in the Bogota of the 1990s.
Giancarlo, while we're watching this, consider how
Sorry?
we need to wrap up your conversation.
I have to look at myself to the camera.
Sorry?
The time is up. We have to end now in 2 minutes.
I cannot listen to you. Sorry.
And I had less and less space. Everything got complicated because people.
The projects are amazing. The videos are terrific, but the time is going so quickly. There's so much to see and hear from you. Unfortunately, we're out of time. Do you have some concluding words or images? Can you hear me?
Yes. Now I'm hearing you. Sorry, can you repeat me?
Unfortunately, we're out of time. Is there a last image or images or last thought that you want?
Okay, this is no problem. Right, I got to finish this project and very fast and nothing. It's a pleasure to be with you in the Biennial of New York.
What I'm just blown away by is the connection between the projects that are so vibrant and playful and wonderful in terms of the life of the people who get to use them, to principles that, in the abstract could be just ideas thrown out, but what you've done is make them material and make them real. And all of them would generate an hour of discussion, ideally over something more alcoholic than this water. I just would like to thank you on behalf of everybody involved with the Biennial for showing this amazing work. I would say of the principles that you described, they're all maybe equally important, but the idea of playfulness, especially coming out of the Johann Weisinger book from 1938 of Homo Ludens, that's not a word that translates easily into English. It has no direct equivalent because it simultaneously refers to play and sport, school and practice. In Spanish, I guess you'd say hombre jugando. In English, man playing. It doesn't really do it justice. The idea that you transform that concept into evocative buildings that call for that sense of play and joy and wonder is just amazing. So I thank you. And I don't know, Natalia, if you have some last words to wrap up on behalf of the Biennial.
Yeah, no, I think this is sorry, I don't have a good connection. Sorry, it's a problem for my.
Next time we should do this in person in Bogota.
I hope to see you in Bogota, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
That's a great idea, Rick. And Giancarlo, we really enjoy seeing your fun projects, and I know how hard it is to do architecture. That project that you had for the sport space is just amazing how it went from the concept with just papers to reality, as Rick mentioned. Is impressive. So, we wish we could see more of your work. Now we need to go, but we'll be in touch. We have Larry Davis from Altitude Unlimited, one of our sponsors right here. You can see on my right side. Thank you, Giancarlo.